Pro Golfer channel. Jeremy Franks coming to you here from the driving range at Summerfield Crossings Golf Club. And today we've got another series of Take Me to the Tour with some really distinct and specific goals that you can do too at home to make sure that you're accomplishing the goals that you set for yourself, just like the goals I've set for myself to make it back on a professional tour in the next 3 years. Hey, thanks for watching today's episode. Here at My Pro Golfer, you know we like to keep things simple. And today, I've got a special gift for you to help you never miss a 5-foot putt again. Click the link below and download today. All right, so for those of you that are fans of the channel, you obviously realize that I've been on this process for about a year. And I honestly played better golf about 2 years ago, but I didn't have the same amount of things in my way. And so now I've got some avenues and some opportunities to really prepare myself for making these results. And the first thing that I want you all to do is make sure that you're tracking your progress. So I just signed up for the Florida State Golf Association's USGA GHIN app. It's actually gotten quite a bit better. You've got to play with GPS and games, handicap calculator. And then right down here just shows all of your stats if you want to play hole by stat, and then your scores. And so I had a lot of, under par, low 70s scores a couple years ago. My handicap has gone up in the last month or two, starting to post scores on this. But I played in Ireland, I've played in a competitive event. I've done some things around town that I needed to do, and in other countries, to start to facilitate what I need to do to see myself play under pressure on a regular basis. So one of the things that I've done to simulate that kind of pressure is I have now found a group of guys that play a money game. And I'm not always for playing a money game. I don't think it's essential for golf, but I had to find a way to simulate a tournament so that I could get myself weekly into the process of creating the stress of the first tee jitters or playing for money, putting my money down and going. And what I never like doing is donating to a golf tournament. So if I'm going into a golf tournament and I'm averaging 78, I'm not gonna make money in that event. I've got to get myself into the process of understanding how my scores are going, what I need to work on in a low stress environment that will allow me to play better. So the other day, about a week and a half ago, I played with a group of students, and it was easy, simple, shot 72, no big deal. The next day, I got to play in a competitive match with some guys that do a points game at the club that I belong to. And what I found is that I had a little bit of that first tee jitters. I played well. I had a couple of doubles, which cost me some money. And so I wanted to track, why am I making doubles in this kind of environment? What is it about that stresses me out? And a lot of it came down to trying to hit a short game shot too precise instead of just allowing the flow of things to happen. So I'm going to share with you today a short game shot that I struggled with, which cost me at least 4 shots in that round, and how I can get better at that under pressure. I'm going to show you that next, so stay tuned. So yesterday I had my second match with these guys, and I finally won money. So I played really well, and I was like, okay, I need to beat them, but I also need to beat them bad enough so that I can transition to the next phase. And so as you're home and you're thinking about how do I get better, really tracking it and think about specific shots. At my level, yesterday I shot 77, which is not great, but I had 3 doubles, and each one came from a shot that I'm about to show you, where I just didn't pull it off in the heat or in the walk, or my body was tired or whatever. But I think I've specifically got it characterized of how I messed up there. And I'm gonna show it to you here in a minute, because both shots I got a little thin and skinny, and I sort of tried to lift it up in the air versus really building my process into it. And it's not so much that I didn't hit a shot on the green, it's how far. And so remember back in some sessions that we've had, if you're following the channel, this is a very specific thing we talk about. So from 3 feet, the tour players make 100% of their shots. From 4 feet,
they make like 72% or something to that factor. So if I could get the chip within 3 feet, I know that my chances are way higher. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Yesterday, I hit 2 thin shots long into the back fringe, one of which cost me a double because I'd already missed up a shot earlier. And so 3 putting from after a chip shot is absolutely must not do at my level. And if I do it, I need to come and practice it to make sure we go. So what I did yesterday is I built my stance, I got my body in the position, and then I just peeked quick trying to hit the shot. I know most of you peek in general because it's such a weird motion to stay in the shot like this, hitting your chip and then having to look. But most of us will go, where is it? And the club comes with you, thins it, even if it's just a little bit, and sends it too far. So let's make sure we build our stance properly, get our bodies up and on top, and make this sound. I know you can hear it. If you make that sound each time, the club's gonna go underneath the golf ball. So build it, set the body up to hit the shot, a little open for me, a little blade open for me, and then listen for it. And if you can listen and then look up, I just saved myself 2 shots by pulling that shot off just like that, which would have given me 75, and I would have been happy with that yesterday. All right, obviously I'm already pretty good at this shot, and I just didn't do the process the way I want to go. But if you've been diligent enough to stick through this video and watch to this point, I'm going to take you through exactly how to hit that shot and how it can help you pull those shots off under pressure. The number one thing you have to have is setup. Your body has to be in a position to get the ball elevated by the club not elevating the ball. And so what you got to do, the more you're down, the more you're tilted, and I talk a lot about this with my students. This is an example of where this club should be hit. So if I was standing here and trying to swing a club, I should be out there in the middle of the bunker, all right? If I tilt myself all the way on top, almost like this, then I'm almost in a putt zone. And most of the time, if you're in the right tilt, you're gonna hit a solid putt. Well, the chipping is the same way. And so for this shot, we tried to elevate it. So we don't wanna elevate it with our chest and lift, we wanna elevate it with the brush and the sound. So if you're really struggling with the sound, that brush sound, listen for it, you've gotta make sure you set up properly for it. So I'm gonna bend deeper and more over on top, body weight on the balls of the feet, as if I was gonna go down and pick these balls up. You've got to get your body in a position to stay down there and be able to come up through the shot without lifting the head or raising the chest. And so we have to have the tilt so that the hips can work. See how much hip movement there is there? You'll see my left glute come out in the photo, and you've got to make sure you do that. If you don't, what's gonna happen? That move right there. And then you actually hit grass, but you hit it way behind. So notice where your strikes are, build your setup so that your arms can hang fluidly up from underneath your chest and shoulders, and you can just brush. So let's just make sure that that wasn't a fluke, okay? I'm gonna put the ball down there, I'm gonna get my head set up, I'm gonna get my body built, I'm gonna open my stance just a little bit, open my face just a little bit, and brush. And you see that ball come out very similarly, almost exactly the same way. I want you to take that advice, work on it for yourself.
Hey, just want to remind you to not forget on getting your free gift below on how to never miss a 5-foot putt.
So I want to thank you all for taking the time out on your day to see my journey and also potentially get something for your own game on your journey. If you can get this shot down, or a shot that you really struggle with that's just costing you strokes, that is the number one thing that you want to work on today. It's not so much your golf swing, but what is costing you strokes out on the golf course. Find that number. For a lot of you, it's putting. Keep track on your new app. If the Gin app's really good, Arccos is really good, 18 Birdies is really good, there's a ton of options that are really, really good for you. So if you are not tracking what you're doing, that's my number one thing for you today. Track it, and then you got a special bonus today on how to hit the very difficult pitch shot. We'll see you next Thursday at 6. If you like this video, like it. If you like it, subscribe. We'll see you next week.